So, hello, West Ham fans. Russ and the West Ham Network. Hope you're all safe and well. So, obviously, we travel. We don't. The fans don't, but the players travel to Freiburg for Thursday. Europa League. Continue our Europa League journey away to the Bundesliga side. And I'll be honest, I don't know much about the side. So, as always, we try and get an opposition fan in to give us a bit more information about the side that we're going to be playing. So, we've got Alex from SPODCAST Freiburg. How are you, my friend?
Hello there. Thanks for having me. Nice to be here. It's Tuesday evening now, 2 days to the big match for us in Freiburg. Would you have traveled if you?
Do you know what, Mrs. Budden doesn't let me really go to the away
Yeah,
games, so
yeah.
I just about get past the home games, but they would be a huge. We'd have sold out the away end. The West Ham fans do like to travel, particularly European games. So yeah, it's a bit frustrating. That obviously there'll be no West Ham fans there because that's half the fun about that's why I love the European games at the London Stadium, because whether it's a small, like we had Viborg, Scandinavian side last year, they were fantastic, and I love the away fans, particularly in the European games. And it's a shame that because of the actions of what happened at the Alkmaar game last year, that we've been banned for this one game, because I think it'd been a really good atmosphere. But there's nothing we can do about it. It's been done, yeah, looking forward to it. So how's the season going for you guys this season?
First of all, we Freiburg fans, I think most of us also think it's very sad that you can't visit and we don't have away fans in the stadium. I think it's all about that, to have like the atmosphere against each other and having a beer after that, or maybe we are doing a video podcast, right?
Yeah,
so I can cheer with my glass of wine.
My Diet Coke, but there we go.
Yeah, that's okay, because Freiburg is a wine region in Germany. Maybe just one fact here to the start. Exactly. So how is the season going? Pretty mixed up, I would say. We had a good start with a win against Hoffenheim in the league. Our last two matches against Frankfurt and Augsburg, we didn't concede a goal against us, which is pretty good because we had some hiccups in the start, with too many goals against us against Dortmund and Stuttgart, where we got like 5 against Stuttgart and 4 against Dortmund against us. So in the season before, last year, we were defensively very good. So it was like our best thing that happened to Freiburg was our defense and our goalkeeper, who plays now in Brentford, Mark Flecken. And this year, the stability and our defense was not that stable like last year, but now it's getting more and better. Exactly.
So you're currently eighth in the Bundesliga after Sunday's game. So a 2-0 win against Augsburg. And obviously, you, same as us, you won your first Europa League game. Obviously, this season you're away to Olympiacos 3-2. I think the way this group is falling in terms of it, I think it's going to be between us and you in terms of who wins the group and who comes second.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully, because I think actually it'll be great to see both of us go through there.
Maybe to interrupt you, how was Backa Topola? How was the Serbian team? They were not good, right?
Not good. They got a very lucky goal because our centre back Angelo Gbona basically decided for some reason to just stop with the ball and didn't know what he was doing, and their striker took it off him and scored a goal. Then we scored 3 goals pretty much, very, very quick goals. I wasn't impressed with them. Considering they are top of the Serbian Super League, and and I was thinking, oh, here we go, this is going to be trouble, because sometimes those teams, when they score a lot of goals in their league, and that brings confidence and stuff. No, I wasn't particularly worried about them at all. To be honest, when the draw came, obviously I knew of Freiburg. Obviously, last year you were one place away from being in the Champions League, playing today or playing tomorrow. So I know.
Don't
obviously
get me started there. I'm living in Berlin.
Yeah.
So Union Berlin just played.
Yeah.
Exactly. But on Thursday, I will jump into the train Thursday morning to drive down to Freiburg and be part of the match in the stadium.
Good man. Good
Yeah,
man. But it's true. I mean, I think we were in essence. I'm not. Was it 2 years ago? Maybe 3 years ago. We was basically one win away, really, realistically, from maybe being in the Champions League, and that was West Ham, and little old West Ham. But as you said, it's. I mean, how's Freiburg? How's the fans? They taken to this European journey? Are they enjoying it?
Yeah, definitely. Olympiacos is maybe a small downer because we already had them last year in our group stage. So it's the second time in a row you have to play against Olympiacos. It's a completely different team than last year, but still it's the same destination for away supporters, and maybe not that attractive the second time in a row.
I know what you mean.
But in general, I mean, Freiburg is not used to play in the Europe League 2 times in a row. We have been to Europe 3 or 4 times before, but not the group stage, only last year and this year. And it's a new way of thinking and being part of this SC Freiburg as a fan, because now we are like not worried about getting relegated in the league anymore, or not that much worried about it. Our coach and our whole club mentality is still, first thing is to stay in the league, and then you can check if you have enough points or a good start to the season, and then you get in a flow, and then maybe you will fight for the places for Europe, for the Europe League, for the Champions League last year as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a development that is very, very great. 1 year ago, or 1.5 years ago, we have been in the cup final as well, in the German DFB Pokal, lost against Leipzig. But still, it's a pretty new feeling to be one of the top teams, because we still have Dortmund and Leipzig and Bayern Munich, of course, etc. Leverkusen this year. But after this first scale of teams, like these 4, 5, 6 teams, pretty much the same as in the Premier League, I would say. You have also these top teams in the top of the league. Then Freiburg is part of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 clubs who are fighting and probably not worried about getting relegated at all.
It's a very similar sort of path to, I think, West Ham at the moment. Obviously, this is our 3rd year in Europe.
Just your salary is much better.
Yes, yes, a lot more money probably in the till. But in terms of sort of, as you said, you've got your same as the Premier League. Obviously, you've got your Man Cities, you've got your Liverpools. As much as I don't want to say Tottenham this year, Arsenal, and then you've probably got your second tier where sort of West Ham, Brighton, Aston Villa are probably in that sort of group. And obviously, our 3rd year in Europe as well. And it's something we're getting used to as well. And I think also, as you said, that sort of I mean, you're probably the same as me, coming from a similar sort of type of club. The first thing you want to do is we call it 40 points. Once you've got 40 points, you're sort of safe. So it's the countdown to 40 points in the Premier League, and then you'll see how far you can go. So we've got 13 points, so we've still got 27 points to go, despite the fact we're probably not going down. Burnley, Sheffield United, Bournemouth, Luton, there's some Everton, there's some very poor teams in the Premier League this year. But still, we have that ingrained in our heads that we've been a bit of a yo-yo club. But no, it's and I love the European nights because it's a total different style of football. It's a distraction from the Premier League, and we've sort of found our feet a little bit now, I think, when it comes to Europe, which is great. In terms of Freiburg, obviously, would you have a very different side that played against Augsburg in terms of who's going to play on Thursday? Usually, does the manager change it up for the European games?
Right now, not. I would say he changes not much at all. We have some bad. How do I say it? We have some injuries and we had a suspension in the league, which doesn't have an effect or in the EuroLeague, of course. But our captain, left back Christian Günther, is injured for several months, broken leg and a broken arm. Maybe you can cut that out. But doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well,
he's out. I
Yeah.
mean, he's a big player, isn't he, Ginto?
He is a big player. Then our squad, we had some rumors about here Wilfried Gnonto from, is it Leeds, I guess.
Yep. Gnonto, yeah.
He was a transfer rumor, and we didn't get some players that we really wanted. At the same time, our squad is like, it's all about keeping everyone together and having the squad together. Like, players have been here for several years, for many years. But I would not say that the coach will change a lot from the games. We are matching Bayern Munich on Sunday after the game against you away. And even if we won that game last year in the cup away at Bayern Munich, I was there. It was one of the most fantastic feelings ever.
It is.
It's very unrealistic that we will get points there, I guess. So I would guess full power for the game.
Prioritize Thursday. Well, especially you've got obviously Harry Kane absolutely on fire over there for Munich at the moment, isn't he? He's scoring a few goals, his old Harry up there, which is good to see, because he's not scoring for Tottenham, so I don't care, as long as so it's all good. In terms of aspirations, I mean, obviously, with the Europa League, there's so it's at the moment it's very difficult to sort of ascertain where who's favourite, who's going to progress, and things like that. But obviously, in terms of your expectations, qualifying out the group is you should eat. That's obviously the main thing for you guys, isn't it? To qualify outside the group and then see what happens.
Yeah, I would think so. It's very hard to say. I mean, it's our first time we play against an English team all time in any championship or in any cup or competition. So it's tough to say how good and bad or who's favorite against you. It will be nice to see how the strength balance will be between West Ham and Freiburg.
Definitely.
I think now with our away win against Olympiacos, we made a huge step for qualification to the next round. And of course, you should get 6 points out of the games against the Serbian team. I hope that.
Yeah.
I don't know what happens away there or how the
they've only got. I think their stadium's only 4,500. So I don't know whether they have to move to a bigger stadium. I thought the minimum was 8,000, but maybe I've read it somewhere else. But they've got a very small stadium. So I know what you mean. I think, it's. I mean, as I said, if we don't qualify, I'll be very disappointed. To be honest, as I said, I think it's you and us are the two teams who are, favourites to win the group and favourites to go through. It's difficult, isn't it? Because and then it's a bit of a lottery, isn't it? Really, because you don't know who's going to drop in from the Champions League. I mean, last year there's some big clubs. I think Barcelona dropped into the Europa League last year from the Champions League, and a few others. So it's a bit of a lottery then. But it's same as me. I mean, we don't have a very good in recent history. Obviously, we had Eintracht Frankfurt in the semi-finals 2 years ago, and they obviously beat us, and then they actually won the whole tournament. So we haven't had the best run with German teams in recent times. So it's going to be interesting from our side. Obviously, David Moyes likes to change the teams around a little bit for the European games. We've got obviously quite a big squad, so make sure people get some game time.
However, that's exactly what we don't have this year. Not a big squad. So
but it's interesting because I think 2 years ago we had quite a small squad in the Europa League and didn't really change too much, and we did really well in the Europa League and in the Premier League, and then towards the end of the season we got very tired because we had a small squad. Last year we had a bigger squad and we had these sort of two teams almost, and I think sometimes it was a bit disjointed because it's a completely different side on Thursday. So the Thursday side wasn't as good because they haven't played together as much as the weekend side, and so it's a double-edged sword really in terms of how it works. The ideal
same here in Freiburg. We last year when we were in the group stage and we didn't lose one game, we had like 14 points after 6 games against Nantes, Karabakh, and Olympiacos Piraeus, as I said before. We didn't change a lot, and I think in the beginning of the season, because it's like autumn and beginning of the winter, the players are still fit and have their stamina and strength. But later on, I don't know if that was the effect. Probably we met Juventus Turin then in the round of 16, and then we got beaten. But yeah, okay. As SC Freiburg, you can be beaten by Di Maria and Vlahovic and
You can allow that one.
because that can happen, exactly.
You can allow that. In terms of, obviously, as you said, the first time that you've played an English club in any sort of first team competition. Obviously, there's a lot going into the unknown. Obviously, you would be aware of the Premier League, and same as obviously we're aware of the Bundesliga. Anyone in the West Ham side that you're worried about in terms of facing? Any players you're worried about facing from the West Ham side?
I mean, we in our team have Vincenzo Grifo, and he's one of the best set piece takers in the Bundesliga. And if I say Bundesliga, if he's one of the best set piece takers in the Bundesliga, probably he's one of the best set piece takers in Europe.
Yep.
But you have one also like Ward-Prowse.
Oh, right? It's going to be a set piece off.
Yes,
I like it.
I mean, our last game was 2-0 against Augsburg, and it was a really shit game, to be honest, to say it like that. Not many chances, not many highlights, but we won by a penalty and a corner kick.
That's sort of like the way we're playing, sort of, really. It's sort of, we're
Moyes style.
Moyes ball. That's what they call it, Moyes ball. So, low block, let you have the ball, try and hit in the counter-attack. If not, we'll get a corner. And then, as you said, set pieces. So obviously, it's going to be quite interesting to see, because obviously you guys will be well drilled in set pieces, and obviously not just attacking, but obviously defending them, because you're doing that in training all the time. Likewise with us. So it's going to be like, it's almost like that Spider-Man meme where everyone's pointing at each other. It's that with set pieces. It's going to be whoever blinks first will score. No, I think I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. As I said, it's a shame that we haven't got any players, any fans over there officially. I'm sure there'll be some over there who have bought tickets via means. But it is a shame. But obviously, it just means that when you guys come to London Stadium, we'll have a big party. We won't have, you can't drink beer in the stadium, so you have to drink. So apart from that, obviously, I don't think the wine's as good as in Freiburg, but I don't think Stratford Chardonnay is particularly good. But regardless of that, it'd be good fun. What's your prediction for the game on Thursday?
I think if it's a draw, like in the 60 or 70 minutes, I think both are happy. So no one will go for the win and open the defense and make it risky. I think for Freiburg, with having the win against Olympiacos, a draw is fine.
Yeah.
And for West Ham, probably also in the away game. I don't know. Are you good or bad at away games or home games? Is there any? Do
you know what? This year's totally different. So this time last year, we had 4 points in the Premier League. We've got 13 this year, and we've scored in every game this season, every Premier League game this season, I think, which is again something very unusual for us. It's a different side at the moment. So obviously we've played more away games than home games, and so we've beaten obviously Luton away and various others, but we've beaten Chelsea at home and stuff. It doesn't. I don't know.
Everyone beats Chelsea, right?
Everyone beats Chelsea apart from Fulham. Everyone beats Chelsea. But in terms of your manager, in terms of Christian, is it Christian Streich? Yeah.
Same coach for the last 12 years.
What's he like as a manager? Because I've heard from various people that he's not a conventional manager. Is that correct? What I've heard?
Yeah, well, he's here now in his 12th year at Freiburg, but that's more of club tradition, because before in the 90s and 2000s we had Volker Finke, who was here 16 years. So
wow,
continuity and being a stable club and not firing people or coaches after some losses is like a thing in the club. But he is very characteristic for the club. He has been here. He has been a youth coach before, so he has worked here all his life as a football coach. And I think he is he's very good working with young players and developing them. You can see that he worked a long time as a youth coach and then got to the adults. Freiburg never has a mentality problem at all, so he gets to the players no matter what age or no matter how long they are there or in the club. He gets to them and they are giving 100% in every game. Sometimes it works out, sometimes not, but mentality is not a problem at all. Everyone has to fight against the ball. The first striker in the first line has also to fight defensively, and no one can chill during
I know you mean.
the play of time.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
And he's also a very good tactical coach. We are very flexible in our systems. We can play 3 in the back, we can play 4 in the back, we can play 2 strikers, 1 striker, etc. So we are very we can change our systems, adaptable, depending on what opponent we are playing. And I think they are also scouting the opponents before the games.
That's what I've heard. That's what I've heard. It's that the management at Freiburg are meticulous in terms of scouting the opposition, and knowing what we're going to do. And if anything, West Ham's probably the most easiest side to scout because we pretty much have done the same thing for the last 3 years. So it's not going to be particularly hard to know.
Counter attack, right?
Exactly. No surprises. Antonio up front. Actually, Antonio probably won't play up front. They'll probably play Danny Ings, so it's even less worried in terms of your centre backs. And it's going to be contain. They call it the low block now, which is something. This is a new term I haven't heard for a long time. Counter attack on the someone like Mohamed Kudus, who we signed in the summer from Ajax. Just trying to knock balls over the top. So it's not going to be particularly exciting by the sounds of it. As I said, for you guys, I think you haven't scored a lot. You haven't conceded too many this season, apart from a couple of games. So I think it's going to be for me. It's got 1-0 or 0-0 written all over it. I'll be honest. I'll be honest, and I'll take that. I'd take that, particularly with no fans, because it's never easy to go to a game with no fans, no away fans. If you're playing away, who's obviously, typically the home crowd will be really up for it. Obviously, it's really exciting seeing an English side playing there for the first time as well. So I think if we come away for a draw, I'm happy with that. Definitely.
Yeah, it will be interesting. I mean, Freiburg is not the counter-attack team. We have a little bit lack of speed in the upfront in the offense, and I think we also are comfortable with having the ball and playing with the ball and having ideas like our defense, making many passes and trying to wait until there is some gap they can find to use. But so the expectation would be that Freiburg has 70% of ball possession.
That's pretty much what we've been averaging. About 30% usually. I think it's only this season. I think it was only before the game on Saturday. I think it was only Luton Town had lower possession on us on average in the Premier League. So that's literally it. We'll just give you the ball and let you play with it, and then see what happens. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be good fun, man. And as I said, you'll be there cheering them on, and then hopefully you come over to England for the away leg, and people will see you, because obviously you've been chatting to us, you've been chatting to the We Are West Ham boys as well. So it'll be like everyone will know Alex.
Yeah, that's good. We can have a beer or a Coke or wine or whatever in London.
Stick with beer, probably. I'd say than wine.
Probably that. I mean, it's in the mid or end of December, right? The game.
Yes, so it'd be very Christmassy.
Exactly. We checked. So for me, from traveling from Berlin, it's easy.
Yes.
Flights. I think there is a flight from Berlin to London every half an hour or something like that.
Exactly. Yeah, no problem.
Exactly. So that would be easy, and there are a lot of other London home games in the Premier League, and maybe there's also the darts championship and the Ali Pally.
Oh, Ali Pally! Oh, brilliant! Oh my God, that's like the dream.
It could be a crazy week.
Well, what you do is you go on Thursday. Then I think we're playing Wolves at home on the Sunday.
Okay.
So that'll be a good game because it's Wolves, and it'll be a good game. And and Gary O'Neill, former West Ham player, and as you said, go and see the darts. What fucking hell, mate? That's sorted out. That is a pucker weekend. That's
Yeah.
a great weekend. Ali Pali.
Or an expensive weekend.
Very expensive, but it doesn't happen very often. As you said, it's the first time you'd have gone to gone to an English Premier League game, English Premier League side, traveling with Freiburg. So why not, man? Listen, bud, I'll go because it's the second. I don't need to miss the rest of the Champions League, particularly with Bayern Munich were losing at the time. So you might want to enjoy. No, it's 1-1 now. It's 1-1. Okay, that's a shame. But Union Berlin lost today, so 3-2. So that's something. Alex, man, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much, buddy.
Same.
Really useful to hear, and we'll get you back on for in December, and we'll sort out a beer as well when you come back over.
Nice.
Take care, mate.
Chat.
Cool. See you soon.